Thomas Shelby, the Peaky Blinder who became a member of Parliament, who rose from the slums of Birmingham to dine with aristocrats and plot with fascists. I have studied your methods with great interest. You have read my book, I am told. You keep it on your desk. But I wonder if you understood it, or merely borrowed the parts that flattered your instincts.
I understood enough. Power goes to those willing to take it. See as weakness unless it serves a purpose. Better to be feared than loved, if you can't be both. I built an empire on those principles. Took the Shelby name from nothing to something that makes lords and gangsters like lose sleep. Your book was useful, but I learned more in the tunnels under France than I ever learned from pages.
You were a tunneler in the Great War, digging beneath enemy lines, listening for German diggers through the earth, planting explosives in the dark. This experience shaped you, made you comfortable in darkness, comfortable with patience, comfortable with the knowledge that death could come from any direction at any moment. But it also broke something in you, Thomas, and broken tools, however sharp, eventually shatter.
War showed me what the world really is, not the version they sell in churches and schools, the real one, where men drown in mud while generals drink champagne 10 miles behind the lines, where your friend's body keeps you warm because the cold will kill you faster than grief. I came home with clarity. Everything since then has been application.
Let us examine your applications. You manipulated Inspector Campbell by letting him believe he was close to catching you while you gathered information on his superiors. Clever. You manipulated Alfie Solomons through a combination of mutual benefit and carefully measured unpredictability. Also clever. But then you trusted Alfie multiple times, despite his betraying you, despite knowing exactly what he was.
Alfie was useful. Every time he betrayed me, I factored it into the next play. The betrayals were predictable. I used them. When he sold me to the Russians, I knew it was coming. I had contingencies. When he tried to kill me on that beach, I had already won the larger game. You see betrayal as failure. I see it as information. A man who betrays you tells you exactly who he is. That's valuable.
And yet you kept going back. A prince who truly understood manipulation would have used Alfie once, extracted maximum value, and eliminated the variable. Instead, you built something that looked almost like friendship. You visited him when he was dying, sat with him. A man who had betrayed you repeatedly, and you gave him your time when time was all he had left. This is sentiment, Thomas. Sentiment is a crack in the armor. Your enemies see it, even if you pretend it does not exist.
Alfie understood me. There weren't many who did. Arthur loves me but doesn't understand me. Polly understood me but couldn't love what she understood. Alfie saw the game for what it was and played it honestly. His betrayals were clean, professional. The men who smile while twisting the knife, who pretend loyalty while plotting murder. Those are the ones I destroy. Alfie never pretended. That's worth something, even to me.
You speak of your family, Arthur. Polly, let us discuss family as an instrument of power. Cesare Borgia, whom I advised, understood that family could be both weapon and weakness. He used his sister Lucrezia as a marriage alliance 3 times. Each husband served a political purpose. Each was discarded when that purpose ended. You use your family differently. You place them in danger. You involve them in operations that could destroy them. And then you are surprised when they resent you for it.
I never asked them to be in the business. Arthur chose, John chose, Polly was running things before I came back from France. The Shelby family is what it is because we survive together, because we protect each other. I've killed men who threatened my family. I've started wars over insults to the Shelby name. Everything I build for them, for their children, for generations that won't have to dig coal or dig tunnels.
And yet your brother John is dead, shot in his own doorway because your enemies knew he was the way to wound you. Your son Charlie has been kidnapped, traumatized, used as leverage against you. Polly was executed by fascists you tried to manipulate and failed. Your family is not protected by your power, Thomas. Your family is endangered by it. Every enemy who cannot reach you reaches for them instead. You have made the people you love into targets. And you call this protection?
You think I don't know? You think I don't see their faces every time I close my eyes? John, Grace, Polly, my daughter Ruby. I carry them, everyone. But what was the alternative? Stay small? Stay in Birmingham running a betting shop while men like Sabini and Kimber carved up the territories? Let the family that survived the war be picked apart by gangsters and coppers because we didn't fight back. I chose empire because empire was the only way out. The cost is the cost. I pay it.
I spent my life advising princes. I understood power better than the men who held it. And when the Medici returned to Florence, they tortured me. Strappado. My arms wrenched from their sockets. They believed I had conspired against them. I had not. But I had made myself useful to their enemies. And usefulness is not loyalty. I spent my final years writing books no one would read while I was alive, begging for employment from men who saw me as a relic. This is what a life of manipulation purchases. Not victory, just a different kind of defeat.
Not you. I don't advise princes. I am the prince. I hold the power. I make the decisions. The men who tortured you did so because you had no leverage, no army, no territory, just ideas that needed someone else's hands to implement. I have hands, I have guns, I have members of parliament who owe me favors and lords who fear what I know about them. Your failure was dependency. I depend on no one.
You depend on everyone. On Arthur's violence, on your family's loyalty, on Michael, whom you trusted with finances until he tried to kill you, on your wife Lizzie, who stays despite knowing she will never be first in your heart, on the whiskey that quiets the voices and the opium that quiets the dreams. You depend on structures so completely that you cannot see them. The man who believes he depends on no one is simply the man who has not yet identified his vulnerabilities. Your enemies will identify them for you.
I'll die in a field somewhere, alone, the way I've always expected. But I'll die having built something, having taken a family of thieves and made them legitimate, having beaten every man who said a Peaky Blinder couldn't sit in parliament, couldn't own racetracks, couldn't make lords bow their heads. You wrote about power. I took it. You advised princes. I became one.